Hi, I'm Koyo, an artist and animator, and recently I worked on this amazing short film project called Chanchal Enterprises. And so here's everything that I got to do on the project as a 2D animator. With a family to care for, no plans, and a barely functional motorcycle, a young man dives into the supply business, turning chaos into opportunity, one misstep at a time. As part of the graphics and promotionals of the film, the first thing that I got to work on were the casting calls. It's basically a call for potential actors for the film. Now, casting calls are usually plain announcements, but since it's a 90s inspired film, I even wanted the casting calls to have a feel of the world. We used this bold font which had this 90s vibe and made it look loud and eye-catchy. And for the background, we used a cardboard texture, which was one of the key elements for the film. And in the end, we added a disco ball, a telephone, and a pumpkin to give it a vintage feel. And once the ideas were approved, I made separate versions for Instagram stories and posts. The next and most exciting thing that I got to work on the project was the 2D animated graphic poster. We wanted to make it in a way that it acts like a trailer to the film, with reflection to key elements and moments on the film. It started with the idea of a packaging line and story within boxes. We took inspiration from traditional Indian covered art and cultural motifs, and keeping that in mind, I created the storyboard for the film. The goal of the graphic poster was simple: tell stories with every frame. The first frame focused on friendship and the bond between the lead characters, as that's the heart of the story. The second frame shifted to the business and growth of the story, showing how this journey takes off. And finally, we ended with the slot machine, showing the fun, risk, and unpredictability of the business. And all of this was placed inside a box, keeping the story intact and giving it a unique look. After finishing the graphic poster, the next thing that I designed was the official film poster. Now, we went through quite a few variations for this one, experimenting with different layouts, color schemes, and mixing stills with illustrations. This part was definitely the most collaborative, as it was a constant going back and forth with the director, tweaking small details and trying to make something that he imagined. Now, this wasn't the part that I spent most of my creative energy in as compared to the other things that I worked on the project, but seeing how the two posters came out in the end for the promotionals was really good. The last thing that I worked on for the film was the storyboards, and honestly this was my favorite part. The goal was to do scenes breakdown, helping the director visualize the entire story. Now, I worked with the DP Chanchal on this one, and we literally did a speed run session, 3 hours straight on a Google Meet. This was a quick, intense, and honestly a lot of fun. Some of my sketches were super rough, and even the characters looked like they had potato heads. But it worked, and we keep moving. The best part was seeing the director's reaction, and the magic of storyboarding is that it doesn't have to be perfect. It should just give everyone on the set a clear vision of what they are working on. And for me, that was more than enough. What I loved most was the creative freedom that I got. I could experiment, make stylistic choices, and still work closely with the director. And overall, this was an amazing experience for me. I guess that's it, and you can check the project documentation on Behance. All links are in the description, and thanks for watching. Bye.